Hello, and you might notice I am in a new location and maybe I look a bit different and I should still sound the same because this is the same microphone, but maybe I sound different. I have an office now, which is really cool. And I just wanted to make a video just as like an update because I've not uploaded in a little bit. I think it's been 2 months. Still been working, so we still put out some stuff. I'm going to talk about that in this video. But yeah, just wanted to do like an update saying I'm still making content. There's still going to be Dither tutorials soon and tutorials for other new stuff soon. But I've literally just now got set up to the point where I can actually sit down and make a video. I've got lighting now, you might notice. There's nothing behind me. I'm going to have to put something on these walls because the backdrop is too boring right now. The only thing that you might recognize is this cat jar. But yeah, I have an actual space now to record in and work in that isn't my dingy home office where I could only really record at night or when it was dark outside. So just to keep you updated, I'm going to just mention a couple of things that we've been working on, what you might have missed and just what's to come. And then I'm going to end the recording so I can actually finally get back to work. And I've had to do just like a week of waiting for deliveries to the office and setting stuff up and just trying to do work around having to set all this up. Obviously you can only see me in this boring backdrop, but I've got new screens because I hadn't had new screens for like 6 years. Obviously like desk and room now for myself too. And I don't know, it's just hard to get stuff into upstairs into a building when you've got it all at home. I don't know. Anyway, so new stuff that we did since I last spoke to you on this channel. Dither 4.2. So Dither 4.2, maybe I'll do a video on this, or I might just cover it in the Color Cat video. I'll talk about Color Cat in a minute. We released Dither 4.0 in July, or maybe at the start of August, and I did a video on that already, so you've probably already got that. But we did release Dither 4.2, which just adds some new export options for people who are working on like print files a lot and just general stuff that people requested in terms of export. If you go to the help menu, you will see the new export settings in there. We added that as well as some other bug fixes. So like Windows decided to do an update. Microsoft did an update to Windows. It was called like Windows Update 24.2H or something. Let me look. Windows 11 24H2. And this thing just broke a load of stuff for people. Only some people, but it broke a load of stuff. So I spent probably like 10 hours in July reading Microsoft update documents, trying to work out what that was. And we got a little change into 4.2. So just so that you can stay ahead of whenever your operating system decides to force you to update, I would recommend getting on that. And yeah, there wasn't like no big new features in 4.2, but in terms of actual new content, we did just put out Color Cat. So Color Cat is a whole separate software. I will do a video on how to use Color Cat. I'm not screen recording for this, so I can't show you how it actually works in this video, but it's free for everyone who already has Dither. You don't need to buy this new software. It is only used for making Dither color palettes. I mean, there's not much use for it anyway if you don't have Dither. It's got some like cool color analysis features, but other than that, yeah, it's primarily import an image or a screenshot, or like if you go on holiday or I don't know, you see something cool out and about and you want to take a picture and turn that picture into a dithering palette, then you can just run it through Color, export the palette with your settings, and now you can dither with those colors basically. It's not like the intended use, but this also means that if you see someone else dithering with a certain combination of colors, you could technically just screenshot part of their dither and get their color palette. So for example, if I post any Dither work and you're like, oh, what did you use? What color palette did you use? You could open up Color, screenshot my work and literally steal my palette, just like if you wanted to. Up to you. I don't really care if you screenshot my work. As far as anything I post, fair game. If you want to screenshot it and run it through Color Cat, I don't care. Obviously, don't be dumb and don't do stuff that people will be annoyed at you for, kind of thing. But yeah, I'll do a video on Color Cat later on. Color Cat started like it was like work in progress from all the way back in March. So it was in March when I realized that Dither kind of had enough support that I was gonna be able to do this color update. I thought it might be like a year before I could do the color update. So I realized that Dither had enough support in March that we were going to be able to do it a bit sooner. And so I wrote a big plan for the color update and exactly what I wanted to do and sent that to the developer that I work on Dither with, named Danny. And he got off and started to work on that. And then I realized we were going to be doing these palettes. And I thought, I probably need a way to create these palettes because we're going to need to ship the software with some palettes. Like you can't just say, oh, it supports palettes now, make your own or whatever. Like, if you open Dither, there's like the retro palettes, there is the abstract palettes and like some other categories. So I needed something to make these and like work out a system for making them. And that's where ColorCat started. Obviously, the reception and like feedback to the Dither mascot as well made me think, oh, I could do like a second mascot, like a companion, and call it ColorCat. And yeah, so ColorCat is me learning Python. So that's why it's very simple. Like it's not advanced software at all. Any programmer could throw that together, but my experience with Python pre-ColorCat was very, very limited. So now I've actually done a software. I did have help, so it's not just me, but yeah. I will do a video on actually using ColorCat because I'm aware that not everyone cares about everything I just said. Yeah, the other thing just like I wrote down to kind of mention when speaking about ColorCat is when we put out 4.0, and don't get me wrong, the majority of the feedback that we get for Dither updates is massively positive, but there was like a weirdly vocal minority of people who, and I'll never complain if you bought my software, like God bless, I love you, thank you. But there was a small section of people that were like annoyed that we were doing color palettes because obviously like there's other dithering stuff that just uses original colors or like quantized colors from the original image. And I know that. And if there is another dithering tool that you know about, I promise you I know about it as well. And I didn't want to just do I didn't want to just be like, oh, we'll just do what this other thing did for color. So yeah, I knew ColorCat was coming. We put out 4.0. People are like, this is weird. Why have you done palettes when I can't make my own palettes? And obviously I didn't know quite when I would be able to put out ColorCat. It's kind of hard content wise and just being on the internet wise to put out an update, communicate the update, get people to download the update and share how to use the update, make people aware of the update and put out a companion software like at the same time. So I had to leave a gap in between these things just to make sure, get the update out, make sure people know about it and communicate how it works and whatever, then give it a bit, put out the companion app. And now, only now am I actually going to start putting content out about ColorCat. So yeah, anyway, the point I just wanted to make was kind of like, just trust the process. If we do something weird in an update and you think that's weird or why have they done that? Like I've got a plan. I planned out quite a lot for Dither and the amount of support that we got early on has meant that the plan's happening really quickly, basically, which is great and I appreciate it, obviously. But yeah, first time I've ever done software. Trust the process. Bear with me. I don't know. I just wanted to say that somewhere. Because there will be stuff in the future that I do. And there's even stuff now in Dither that like you put in sort of the groundwork in an early version. And I know that later on, this thread will sort of link to something else and you'll be able to use this thing better later on, even ColorCat. So I'm not going to say too much, but ColorCat right now exports Dither color palettes. And if you've got ColorCat, I'm trying to work out a way to say this without spoiling anything, but if you've got ColorCat and nothing goes wrong for my plan, no promises, but if you've got ColorCat and nothing goes wrong in my plans, then there will be other things that you can use ColorCat for, including stuff not made by me. So I'm not going to say who or what or whatever, but there are other people making similar tools to the kind of thing I'm working on. And we're talking about, or those people are asking about, and I've said yes to letting them link into ColorCat so that there's more than one use for it. But anyway, I'm saying way too much, so I'm moving on. Other stuff that is new, or just to mention, so we have a blog now. One thing I've noticed is that people who get software really, really appreciate communication from me or from us about updates and about what's coming and about like if there's a bug that we're aware of or whatever. People appreciate that. So I've started writing blog posts. Not many people read them, but yeah, if you go to studioAAA.com/blog, you'll be able to read what's new, and like there's a frequently asked questions one on there that I'll do a new one if there are new questions and stuff that people are asking a lot. This also links into the fact that I now have help responding to emails, which is honestly having someone that help me responding to emails and an office now is hopefully gonna like 10x my productivity. We'll see about that. But yeah, like there's now someone else that is not me who can pick up your email. If you send an email to support@studioAAA.com, then there is someone there who can pick up your email, respond. They've got all the information. I've written like tons of documents and templates and stuff for this person to use. They can direct you to the right place. They can fix your order for you if you lose your order email, or if you deleted the email of your license key, or if you've got a bug, they can tell you what to do. And if there's a bug that they can't fix, they can tell me about it and we can fix it and then put it in an update, and then they can tell you about the update. And yeah, so that's just a general update that I wanted to tell people about. Most people will never have to email. It's only a very small like share of people who have to email. But for me, because we are working on new software, I don't know if I said that earlier in this video, but we are working on new software. It's really hard to be working on this new thing that I'm not going to say anything about, but working on this new thing. And obviously it's in development. So there's a bug or there's a thing, or I'm designing UI or whatever. And I'm thinking about this new thing, which is not even connected to dithering at all. And then if it were still me dealing with these, getting an email about like, oh, this, I don't know, this weird Windows 11 bug, for example, the one I mentioned with my Dither Boy version, can you help? And then having to just sort of go back and like remember what did we do with Dither Boy again, or having to look through the code and talk to the developer about old stuff when we're supposed to be doing new stuff. I don't know. It takes a lot off my mind. So you can still get through to me if you need to. Obviously, certain things that the person who's helping me can't do. So like a lot of the time I can just reply and I can just have input on it and stuff if you need me specifically, but it is a real human. It's not like a bot or an AI thing or anything like that. It is a real human who is there to help you out basically. So there's that. On Ditherboy, obviously we did literally just put out color update and just put out color cap. So for now, just for a little bit, there is going to be a bit of a break in big Ditherboy updates. So when I say big Ditherboy updates, what I mean is future features that we might add. And obviously I don't like to make promises, but future features that we might add, work on those features is kind of on pause for a little bit. Just kind of what I said before, dithering fatigue between me and Danny, the developer. There's been like 6 months where all of our conversations have been about dithering, and like I have had dreams about dithering while we've been working on this. When we went from 2.0 to 3.0, what you but see and only like my friends or people who test it for me see is we jumped publicly from 2.0, 2.01, I think, to 3.02. So you see 2.0 whatever and 3.0 whatever, but in between there's tons of versions that let's try and add this feature, and then it's kind of broken in 2.1. And so I test it for a bit and I work out what's actually not working, send it back, look through the code, see if I'm not being dumb because I'm trying to learn Python. Yeah, look through the code, see that I'm actually making sense when I'm talking to my very qualified developer, because obviously I'm kind of an idiot compared to him with programming. Send feedback off and get like version 2.2, and then yeah, like repeat until there's one that I'm happy with putting out and it works and whatever. So yeah, there's literally been times this year where I've gone to sleep thinking about dithering, had a dream about dithering, woke up, walked to my desk, carried on working on dithering, recorded a video that day about dithering, uploaded an Instagram reel that day about dithering, tweeted about dithering, replied to emails about dithering. So I need a break from dithering. And you'll see in the meantime, there'll be some stuff that comes out where you'll be like, oh, okay, this is why they took a break from dithering. We will obviously return to, there is like one or two things before I put Ditherboy down, not put down like you put down a cat. I'm saying like before I place it down, before I'm done with adding big and ambitious features, there's like one or two things that I want to at least try out. So in the interest of not making any promises I can't keep, I'm not going to tell you what those features are, but it's the one you're thinking of. If you've asked for something, it's the one you're thinking of. It's the one everyone asks for. I'm not going to say what that is. If you've been around, if you've read the comments, you know what I'm talking about. So that covers Dither Boy, blog, new support email. The only other thing I really wanted to say is obviously I've spent a bit setting up the office and I've had to like take a break from, well, it's not really a break because I've still been working. It's just not been moving forward. It's been like setting all this up and finding an office and stuff is hard. And I've been doing all that and moving out of my home office and having to clear out all my crap from my house and stuff. So yeah, anyway, while I've been doing that, I just wanted to thank, like, if you've posted Dither Boy artwork or you've talked about it online or recommended it to a friend or been active in the Discord or whatever, like during this time to help me keep the snowball kind of rolling down the hill, I just really appreciate that because obviously when you're doing a one-time purchase software, it's hard, like the majority of people who will ever buy Dither Boy have already bought it now. And so like if I want to keep doing updates, I've got to kind of get it out there a bit more so that I can actually pay the people to work on the updates with me, which is a stupid business decision. Like, I don't know, but yeah, I think you'll get what I mean. So yeah, people from the Discord, I don't want to mention anyone by like their actual real full name, but Brungiest Bunny, if you've seen him and his work online, he was the first person to buy Dither Boy. Am I allowed to say that? I don't know if that's a breach of privacy, but yeah, first person to buy Dither Boy. And he posts work with it all the time. From the Discord as well, Wentz Archive, that's their Instagram name. Always see them posting work with it and mentioning it, which is really, really cool. Nico, who you might know as WRD Media Files, we run differently on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, is a friend of mine, but has posted so much dithering artwork with Dither Boy and is constantly like sending me work in progress or yeah, like just publicly probably one of the biggest supporters of Dither Boy, and I appreciate it so much. Christos.jpg, who you might have seen in the Discord or you might have seen credited on some of my Instagram content, and works with me on making stuff now. So obviously gets paid for it, but I still appreciate like the help and stuff. Caroline Dietel, again, a friend of mine, but posts Dither Boy artwork all the time. I'm definitely going to be missing some people, but if I just open the Discord up now, I'm going to the Hall of Fame. Abel, Archfiend, posted a Dither Boy tutorial, which was really cool. I don't know if you're in the Discord and you've got your Discord username set to not your actual public facing name, then I'm sorry for crediting you wrong here, but Z9 posted this really cool Ozzy Osbourne artwork on I think it's on Twitter and Instagram, which was really, really cool. And I retweeted. Commissar, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Always sharing work in the Discord. Evan from the Discord. Again, I know this is super vague, but these people will know you'll know who I'm mentioning if you're in the Discord. Trix from the Discord. Kenny from the Discord. Emily Neptune from the Discord. Sunthrone. I'm just going through some of the stuff I've like saved. Yeah. Anyway, my only real point is like, as much as I plan the updates and we work on them, me and Danny together, and obviously I pay people for their time when they work on the updates with me. And as much as that is what produces the updates, like the community and like the people talking about Dither Boy and sharing Dither Boy work and telling their friends about Dither Boy and stuff, that is kind of what makes all that work possible because of the one-time purchase way that we've done it. So anyway, obviously moving into the office and taking time off work obviously means that I've had a slow month, but the fact that I've still been able to get new people in on Dither Boy this month when I've really not posted that much about it is very much appreciated, and it is because of all those people I just mentioned and anyone else who talks about it, anyone else who recommends it, or yeah, all that stuff. So anyway, that was about it. That was all I wanted to mention in this video. I will do a color cut tutorial and I'll just get back to actually making content now. I'm going to do a Q&A soon because it's 6 or 7 years of doing Studio AAA full time, which is also really cool, like a milestone to hit. So I'm going to do a Q&A similar to what I did last year. And if I don't end this video, I'm just going to keep going on and on. So thanks for watching. I'll link everything I mentioned below, Colorcast, the blog, and the Discord, all that stuff, all below this video. And I will see you in the next one.